Pause deadlifts are one of my favorite ways to build injury resilience in deadlifts, grease the groove with just the deadlift skill, work on grip strength, and just work on overall deadlift strength. They are far more challenging, so you're going to use a lot less weight than you typically would for the rep scheme that's programmed. But depending on how long you're pausing and where you're pausing, it might be a lot less, or it might just be a little bit, but you're definitely going to have a little bit less that you're able to lift. But once you take training blocks and practice this type of work, when you get back to dropping the pauses and the tempo work, you should see your lift strength increase a lot. So with that being said, there are different areas or different positions that I typically like to program pauses for, and that is going to be about 1 to 2 inches off the ground. So just as you get that barbell up off the ground is going to be about mid-shin for a lot of people. That's place number 1. Place number 2 is going to be below the knee. Place number 3 is going to be above the knee, and then place number 4 is going to be at the top position. Now, you can program any pauses on the way up in any of those places and or on the way down as well. So it's important to pay attention to not only how long the pause is and where it is, at what point in the movement as well. That way you're executing properly. So I'm going to show you what each of those look like. You're going to get started with your typical stance for your deadlift. You're going to come down. The barbell should be right over the middle part of your foot. Come down and grab the barbell, and then your shins should meet the barbell. And we're gonna push our feet into the ground and take some of the slack out. Then from here, we're gonna come up by pushing our feet off the ground. And here's the start, the first pause position. The second is gonna be right below the knee. The third is right above the knee. And the fourth is gonna be at the top. Again, let's see them on the way back down. Here's the top position. Here is above the knee. Here is below the knee. Here is mid shin right above the ground. And those are going to be the different places you will typically find pauses. Everybody's different, but those are the ones that I like to use. So make sure you pay attention to how long it is, where it is, and at what position of the movement. We can program pauses in any one of those or in multiple of those. So this will be a little bit intense. You should feel the same type of fatigue and strain as you would with a regular deadlift, but it may highlight some areas that you need to work on as well. It just should never be painful. So if that's the case, you need to seek a healthcare provider for that. But this should be a really great way to build a lot of endurance and strength in areas that we typically will use momentum or speed or just kind of gloss right over, but they tend to be our sticking points. So this type of programming will really highlight those weak areas and then help you tackle them so that when you get back to your regular deadlifts, things should feel better and you should feel that your overall strength is improved.